Hello and welcome to this video where I'm going to unbox the Pokemon Scale World, Lance and Dragonite. So before I did this one, I did the unboxing for Red and Snorlax, so this just carries on right from that as I promised. So again, this is a limited edition Scale World or Bandai exclusive figure, so it comes in this brown box right here. Just says what the product is, so Pokemon Scale World, Lance and Dragonite in Japanese. And then it's just plain brown throughout. I haven't opened this as well, so I'm going to do this right now. You can see the tape here. So just to go over it again, Scale World is a relatively new figurine collection, static figurine collection from Bandai, produced by Bandai. And at the moment it's only available in Japan, and it's the Pokemon figures, Pokemon themselves, and trainers and other kind of human characters in one uniform scale. So what you imagine Lapras to be, for example, Pikachu will be in scale with that Lapras figure. Sadly, I don't have a Lapras, so I wasn't able to cover it, but I have covered the Kanto starters, including, when I say Kanto starters, I mean Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur, which came with Professor Oak. That was a web exclusive. And then I also covered, like I said, Red and Snorlax, and also Blue and Arcanine. So here we can see the box. Let's take this out. So that's the underside of the box, so plain, nothing there. So the packaging is similar to the Red and Snorlax one as I went through in my previous video. So you've got a photograph of Lance and Dragonite, which looks very, very cool, the logos and such. So again, this is a Japanese product, so it has it in Japanese with the Japanese names there. And then more photos of it, so it looks decent. And then on this side, more photos mentioning the size of them, so 87.5 millimeters and 110 for Dragonite. And then some Japanese text on the back, ingredients, because this does include a little candy. So this is a few photographs of what the other figures look like in scale with each other. So as I mentioned, the Lapras here with Mewtwo and such. I don't have all of these, sadly. Lapras is a rare one. Mewtwo is not that rare, but I just don't have him. And you got an example of Eevee being very, 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 very tiny. So that's pretty cool. So again, check out my previous videos if you haven't seen the Kanto starters or Blue and Arcanine. That said, I do also have the legendary trio from the Johto region. I just haven't got around to unboxing those just due to delayed shipping and stuff. So I waited for these to do this first. So let's get this open. So on the inside as well, on this flap, it's also going to mention or shows the Gala Pokemon, which are also due out later this year. This was similar to Red and Snorlax again. So they look pretty cool. So, you know, they haven't just stuck to the Kanto region. No. They've done Johto region as well, which actually I've, you know, not aside from the legendary trio, I also did order, I forgot which ones they were now, but a couple of trainer characters with other Pokemon. I think one of them may have been Meganium. I'm not 100% sure now, but that I don't have on me, so it's going to be a while before I'm able to unbox that. So here we've got the blister packaging, again similar to Snorlax one. So let's crack this open. Here's the candy, by the way, that I missed before. So we've got Dragonite and the Lance figure. So I haven't put the wings on. They, as you saw, came not assembled straight away, so this should be easy to put on. You get a base stand for Dragonite that he sits on top of, I assume, and then the same sort of stand that the other human characters come with beforehand for Lance, because he stands as he does here, but his cape is a little bit gonna drag him back. So let's show you Lance first. Let's take a look at this figure. So straight away, in my opinion, I don't like him as much as Red. I think it's just the way his face is sculpted, very, very kind of flat and wide looking, but yeah, it's okay. It's not awful, but I preferred what Red looked like. His hair is, you know, pretty average looking, or really could be a bit more spiky, but I think it's just potentially they must have done that for age, I guess, for the figures. But then you got the details of the red on his suit down to his boots as well, the belt as well, which doesn't really have too much detailing on the buckle. Hopefully you can see that, and then his cape, which is black, and then yeah, burgundy on the inner side. So very, very simple figure for the most part, even in terms of sculpt. And yeah, paint is very simple too. It's okay, it's probably on par with Blue, which I wasn't a huge fan of. It gets the job done, and I guess for some people that's fine, but for me, I think because you're paying around 9,000 yen for these kind of sets of figures, I would prefer having these to be a bit higher quality. Red was a good level of quality. I think that and above is what I would prefer that they strive for. So that's Lance, just to show you how to stand him up with the base. You just plug his feet in like so. His base actually looks a little bit thicker than the previous one, so then yeah, that just gives him the support to stand up without much worry. Dragonite then, the main piece for this set. So everyone knows what Dragonite looks like. Yeah, so again, the Kanto Pokemon are relatively plain in design and color schemes with, you know, very limited sort of color options on them. So this is fine in terms of color and sculpt as well. Let's add his wings because it looks very strange without the wings. And then the second one here. They are noted, by the way, so it says R on this side, so it would be Dragonite's right wing. With Charizard, the wings were a little bit loose. These seem to be okay. They're smaller wings as well, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. So, sculpt-wise, I'll get that out of the way. He looks pretty good, decent size as well. I'm going to scale him or put him side to side with the other Pokemon that I've got currently out as well. But yeah, size looks quite nice, quite good. He's got a decent weight to him. He's not the heaviest Pokemon that I've got so far in this set. That still probably goes to Venusaur as the heaviest one. So yeah, he stands on his own quite well. Just be careful because his tail points downwards, so if you're going to keep dragging it like so, you might end up scuffing his tail and potentially his feet too, but definitely his tail might get scuffed. His belly underside of the tail is sculpted, but when it comes to the paint then, which you probably saw, messy here down this side, you can see. Let's see if it's just a, you know, dirt or something. Looks like it might just be dirt. Yeah, luckily I can clean that, so maybe afterwards I'll give it a quick brush with a makeup brush, no less, to see if I can clean that. But okay, that's not as bad then. At first I was worried that it was very, very poorly painted, but that's not too bad then. There's less paint bleed here or smudging that I had, especially with Blastoise. So actually it's not too bad really. There's a little bit of scuff there, but it's very, very minor, very minor. I didn't mention his face actually. That's very important to go over his face too. So his eyes are very plain looking. Eyes are wide apart, and then his snout, you could say, and then the sculpting of his mouth. So it's cute little face on the side actually. And his antenna, which again I didn't mention as well. So these do move a little bit. They shouldn't snap. I'm not gonna try and snap them, but they seem fine. And then of course the little pointy bit on his head. I skipped all of this before, but there you have it. So overall, Dragonite does look pretty decent. Like I said, nice sculpting to him. You know who this Pokemon is supposed to be. And then the paint, yeah, it's very plain, and actually it's cleaner than I first thought, thanks to that just being a little bit of dust, I think, just from being packed inside. Maybe from the candy or something. But yeah, it's otherwise, yeah, okay. Sometimes I feel like on this side might be some smudges, but actually it is fine. I've got a very harsh light on it, so it's gonna kind of be a bit unfair and show a little bit of reflections in places that you probably wouldn't normally see. Let's sit him on his base as well, just to see how much that props him up. I think that's actually how it's supposed to go, which means yes, his tail lifts off the ground, so he's just hovering or levitating really. Let's see if it goes the other way, just in case I got it wrong. Same dealio, so yeah, it's okay either way. I think it's supposed to be this way, so his feet actually don't. Well, I think you can do it either way then. Anyway, so let's bring out some of the other scaled Pokemon. Not all of them, and some of them aren't going to fit all in one go, so I'm going to have to swap them in and out. So let's bring those out and see how Dragonite stacks up with them. So for now, I've just put out Blastoise, Snorlax, and Venusaur in the back, and I've also pulled out Red as well, just to give you a side-by-side comparison in terms of human character versus human character. So Lance is a little bit taller than Red himself, and yeah, he should be taller than Blue too, which sadly I don't have Blue, but Blue is about the same size as Red. So let's move Red out of the way. I'll leave Lance there just for a second so you can kind of see again how he scales with the rest of the Pokemon on display. So I'm going to leave Blastoise, Snorlax, and Dragonite first. Let's give you a look at that. You can see Charizard's wing has fallen off at the edge of the frame. So they look pretty good together. Snorlax is the biggest blob compared to those two, but they look pretty good. Shift out Blastoise, and I'm gonna bring out, well, move Snorlax as well, and then bring out Charizard, whose wing has fallen off. So I'm gonna have to attach his wing as I do this. So his wings also attach in a very similar way as Dragonite. So I'm gonna lift these guys up just a bit because Charizard kind of leans forward a bit. Let's do them side to side. So yeah, he's a heftier figure, but they look, again, good together. Move Charizard away, and then bring out Venusaur, who is the biggest one I currently own. So as you can see, here they look together, and then looking at each other. And then the last one is going to be Arcanine, who's smaller overall than the others a little bit, but he's still, you know, a pretty hench kind of Pokemon too. So yeah, Dragonite still stands taller and above Arcanine. I would say Arcanine, actually, yep, Arcanine is definitely the heavier of these two. So yeah, they look good together as well. So I'll take some pictures of them all together too, but you can see how they scale with one another. Let's bring them all out. Well, if I can fit so far. You can see how they scale with one another, and yeah, for sure they'd make a very cool display if you've got the space to put them all and the money to buy them all. Yeah, because they are pretty impressive to look at as a collection as a whole. Individually, I think, again, for the price, again, this is about 9,000 yen I paid for just Dragonite set. I think it's on the high side, in my opinion, for these figures. They have a nice weight to them. So the materials they're using are, you know, sturdy. But I think for 9,000 yen, I'd expect better paint, some just cleaner looking paint overall, and maybe some shading, especially for the characters, which just lack them overall. But you know, in terms of sculpting, the Kanto stuff had me a little bit more negative side on the sculpting, especially with Charizard's lower jaw, and same with Blastoise. And the paints weren't so great on those ones either. But with Dragonite, it's actually not that bad. It's just a little bit plain in my opinion. It's just the majority of them are pretty plain. But again, if you got them on display and you were to kind of walk into a room and see them on someone's shelf or something like that, they'd probably look super cool and quite impressive to look at. So yeah, like I said, these are all limited edition sets, so most of these are going to probably run you a lot higher than their retail price. So I did pay about 9,000 yen for Dragonite. Good luck trying to find him for that much, because I'm not sure if he still is available for that. Otherwise, your best shot is eBay. Similarly for Blastoise, Charizard, and Venusaur, the limited edition with Professor Oak will run you quite a bit of money, but you can get these separately. So take a look on the sites that I usually call out. So Nippon Yasan, Nin Game, those are the main two. So, and yeah, Blue and Arcanine also limited edition set. So see if you can get a hold of those. So I'm not sure if I'm still going to get any more of these sets. I probably will, but I think it's just going to depend on the Pokemon for me. So the Galar region stuff looks pretty interesting. Corviknight especially stands out, and he's one of the bigger Pokemon for the Galar region that they've announced for the Scale World set currently. So I may strongly consider getting him. But I do have, I think, Rayhan and his Pokemon, Duraludon, I think it was, that he comes with on pre-order, and Nessa. So there's still some that I'm going to cover, but I'm not going to cover every single one. So let's see how this rolls. If you did like this video, be sure to check out the ones that I've done before. If you want to see more of this Scale World stuff, if there's a particular Pokemon that you want to see that I haven't done just yet, leave a comment down below. I will consider doing them. Just means I have to try and chase them up. Things like Lapras and Gengar are quite expensive now, so I really doubt I'll be able to do those, just because, yeah, wherever I normally buy the figures don't have them anymore, and it's eBay, and I don't really want to spend whatever £300 on Lapras, to be honest. So yeah, leave a comment if you like this and you want to see more Scale World, because I will consider nabbing a few of them, and then yeah, we'll see. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of whatever it is that you're doing. Stay safe, everyone. Peace out.